Hey everyone, it is Jack again with Toy Dojo, and today we are back to take a look at the Professor Heisenberg Solution Set. Now I know this set came out about 3 years ago. I never picked one up because I picked up something else instead, which we're going to compare it to, which is the Perfect Combiner Titan Sword. So back then, which is from the Perfect Effects line, but back then that one came out first before this one, and I was just real eager about getting a sword for my Fort Max, so I ended up picking that one up. And then when this one came out, I just didn't get it because I was like, and I didn't realize I could buy the gun separate, so I waited, never got it, sold out here and there. And then Toy Dojo actually had some. They got some more in, so they actually have some of these still if you're looking for a set. I'll put a link in the description below, but I'm going to compare the two swords and just kind of discuss the set and see what I think about it. So here we go. So again, the Professor Heisenberg set here comes with the sword and the gun, and I'm sure you have seen reviews on this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. The sword says that it is 457 millimeters, which I went to Google and typed that in, and it's 17.9921 inches, so about 18 inches for the sword itself. So there's the box for that, and let's get that out of the way. Here is the set right here. It comes with the 3 pieces of the Master Sword that you can combine together, and then it comes with the rifle for Fortress Maximus. So first looking at first let's go to this, so we can get this and then we'll do the comparison. So the rifle, it's cool, it's great, it's the same color blue as what's on Fort Max, so I think they did a great job at that. And also it's reminiscent of the G1 rifle for Fort Max, so I really think it's cool. They did red paint right there for the, and then also right there for the scope, so that's really neat. Back here on the back, it's got the slider joint, and you can slide left or right to get a peg to come out either way. So that way you can store that on his back or store it in base mode on him when you put him into base mode. And then of course the handle comes down so you can put this in his hand. Now, the problem for me is I have the DNA design upgrade kits on him. The feet, the cannons, all that, and the hands, which are, go up right there. These hands here, which are just a little more articulated than the original hands. The problem with that though, doing so, and I didn't realize it, so I opened this to try to put it in his hand. It won't fit in his hand. The reason being is, if you can see, let me zoom in there, or there. So these notches, you got these 3 notches that are on the back, and then these are on the front. They're kind of these little designs that they put on that set. Excuse me. That were put on there to fit the opening on the original hand, because the original hand opening right here was a little bit wider, so this one being a little bit smaller won't allow for this to fit inside there. I was looking for my original hands. I think they're boxed up in the attic somewhere, so I couldn't find them. I thought I had them down in one of my rooms, but they're not, so I couldn't show you here. But I know this does fit on the original hand for sure, because I've seen videos on it. So that does fit on the hand for sure, but again, for the purpose of these hands, they won't fit inside there. And you can see that as I tried to fit them in there, you can see right there where it kind of like started to bend these a little bit, or I don't know if bend's not the right word, but it's kind of like knocking them back a little bit. Let's see. Where the plastic is just getting beat up because I tried to shove them inside of his hand. So it wouldn't fit. It was just a little bit off. So what I'm going to have to do is probably shave these down a little bit. So if you're going to get this set, I would suggest just a little bit shaving them a little bit at a time to fit in these hands. Now, if you have the original hands that come with it, you don't need to do it. It'll fit right in there. But if you don't, then you're going to have to do that in order to get this to fit inside the hand there. So aside from that, I mean, it's an awesome rifle. I'm glad I finally got one because my Fort Max was missing a rifle. So I'm glad that this set is still available. And the set right now at Toy Dojo is only $24.99. I believe back in the day it was like $40 or something like that. So right now, Toy Dojo has them for $24.99 for this plus the Master Sword. So let me show you what I was talking about as far as it not fitting in here. Kind of zoom in if I can. Raise my camera up. Get right there. So the hand itself, it just doesn't fit. So It won't fit in, and it is because of these pieces here, like I said, on the front or the back. So you can't, and I tried to I really tried to shove them in, and it wouldn't shove in. So I will have to just shave these down in order to get them to fit inside there, so I don't damage the hand, or I'm gonna damage these more if I keep doing that, which to me doesn't matter because I'll end up just shaving them down anyway. So that won't fit, but the sword does. So getting to the sword, let me go back down. The sword right here comes in 3 pieces. So you got the small sword, that way you can use to put on Cerebros right here. This little sword right here will fit in his hand. Just gotta make sure this little peg joint is sticking outside here of his opening. So you're gonna slide that in his hand, and he's got that sword, which is good for him, good for his size. And then you got the other 2 pieces, which are made just out of plastic. It's all plastic, translucent red, which looks really nice, and then of course this nice black right here, and then this one too. So nice shiny black there, translucent red in the middle. These are painted. They're painted yellow, orange, and red on top of this black right here. So, but really nice looking sword, reminiscent of the G1 sword itself. So that's really neat. And bringing in the one from the Perfect Combiners, which was this box here, if anybody is curious, or if you have this one, you know what I'm talking about. That's the Perfect Combiners that I bought years ago before this one came out. And so with this sword, I liked it because I was like, man, it's a hefty sword. So this is die cast right here. These 4, these are die cast, and then this middle piece right here is die cast. So the reason I liked it, one, for the weight of it, but also too because I like this like blue, kind of like stone-ish looking deal here in the middle. I thought that was real neat. So I did like that part. The part I did not like was this piece here didn't break up into 2 sets. So you really only have 2 pieces, not 3 like on the other set there. So with this one, while it looks cool, it's a great design. It's just this right here is too big for him to carry. He'll still carry it, but it's too large. So it comes with 2 handles here. This one's gonna be for the Master Sword as a whole, and this one's gonna be to put on this piece right here. So that'll go in like that. He'll still carry it, but again, it's just, that's ridiculous when you look at it. It's just a large sword. It's too big for him to carry around, I think. So, but if you wanted to get this same look with this one, you can. You just take this one out of his hand. Okay, stay up. I know that sword's weighing you down, but you take that and just peg it into here or slide it in, and he fell down, because why not? And then you get that same sword right here, and the handle's already built into it, so you don't have to worry about adding a handle onto it. And you just slide that into his hand. And he's got a larger sword as well. So this one is more like a reddish color, reddish orange maybe, but darker red. Then this one looks more like a pinkish color. It's coming on camera really well. You can see the differences in here, this color versus that color. So this one has more of a pink hue. This one is more of a reddish orange, but more red than orange. But again, just looking at them, I mean, in this mode, they're about the same length. I think this one's a little bit longer, actually. But I think that's just ridiculous. I think it's too large for him to kind of carry around. So we'll put him right there on the side. Okay, you just lay down, whatever. And yeah, you can see actually this sword is a lot longer right here. You can see that from end to end here, it's longer. If we took them and you went down like this, the Perfect Effects sword is still longer than the Heisenberg sword right there. So those are those 2 pieces there. And then combine them, we'll take this one, the Perfect Effects one, and you got to take this piece here and then slip it on right there. That's going to give the handle. And then you take the sword, you got to take this piece off because it won't fit on with it. And then that'll slide in right here. So the other thing about that is this never sits well, like it's loose, you can see that. So like if I shake it, which I shouldn't shake it, but still it'll pop out. So it sits inside there, there's like a little groove inside there, and you can see that little peg hole that's inside there. But it just doesn't sit securely, so you shove it all the way down, and then eventually it'll just pop out. So that was another negative thing about it. Once I got it, I was like, eh. But still, I like the sword, it looks cool. Like, the design looks really neat, so I did like that when I got it back then. And then with this one here, you take that one, and same thing, you're just going to slide this right here onto there, and then that makes this Master Sword. So this Master Sword is awesome in a sense that, like I said, it looks more like G1. So that's really neat. And then I do like the fact that they actually put the peg right here in the center of the sword instead of the back of it. You can see here where it's on the back side only. So he can only hold it one way in his hand, which I guess really doesn't matter because, I mean, they're about the same on both sides. But this one's here in the center, which I think is a lot better. And then this piece here is just left over. So when you have it combined like this, you got to figure out what to do with this piece here because it won't sit anywhere. And you can't stick it on anywhere right here. So that one you just kind of have to figure out what to do with it when you're not using it. So these two, now take a look at them side by side. So from end to end, they are the same size. And you can see that right here. I have them end to end right here. And they are the same size. So they're both about 18 inches long, these swords. Right there. The Perfect Effects one is a little bit wider right here. Definitely right here at this part of the hilt, I guess is what it is, I believe, is a lot wider. And then the sword itself is just a little bit wider too. But they're really nice, both of them are. It's just, I think, for practical uses of playing, this one's better because you can break this up and give it to him to have it better. So let's take them and let's put them in his hands. Alright, so I got them both in his hands, and you can see he holds them very well without even having to close his fingers up. So we'll take these, rotate this around without hitting my light. Light up some. Rotate this one around. Rotate this one around. And that, because like I said, it's loose, it kind of just wobbles a little bit, so. But they're both nice. You know, both of the swords are really nice, so. The Perfect Effect one looks really nice in his hand. But then also, the Professor Heisenberg looks cool too. And he'll be able to hold that one better because it's not going to be as heavy, so when you start to move his arms, they're not going to droop because of the heavier sword here. So, but this one here, for 25 bucks, I mean, it's a pretty good deal, I think, because you get that, like I said, plus the rifle here, which I will have to shave off to stick it in his hand. But ultimately, if you don't want to have him use it, you can just store it on his back. So let me turn him around real quick. And he'll go into that peg slot that's right there in the center of his back. So I'll take that. And you might have to hold this because if I try and just push in there, it's probably going to push this in like that. So I'll take that, hold it, and then just slide that into his back like that. So now that'll hold in. And then any of these other slots that he has on his body, like right there on the shoulder, or down between the legs when he's in his base mode, or he's in his like shift mode, it's gonna fit inside. So just kind of give you an idea. Right down here, if you wanted to store it when he's in his shift mode, right there, you can just stick it right there. Again, you got to hold that because it doesn't. I mean, it slides too easily. So, but that would sit right there. So when he's laying down in his ship mode, you can lay that down and have that shooting up as his gun. So, anyways, just wanted to show this set off. Like I said, I know it came out 3 years ago, but I just picked mine up. And like I said, if you're looking for a set, or if you just got yourself a Fortress Maximus and don't have one, Toy Dojo has them. So I'll put a link in the description below. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you had a happy New Year's. And until next time, you guys, stay safe.